I'm not even going to make an intro this time. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Let's just get into the build. And of course, I use my trusty circle to... Wait a minute, that's not no circle. That's like a square and a rectangle combined. So it turns out that our insect friend's head is not only large, but also oblong and weird. And so this might cause me a little bit of trouble to make. Except it didn't cause me any trouble at all, because I used the same strategy that I've always been using and it worked flawlessly. I wonder why. Now here comes the long part. Now I have made some technological advances to reduce the time it takes to do all this, but it still takes an extremely long time, so hit that follow button if you want more. Now that we have this base for the head, we can actually start to build upon it and make it actually look like the vessel from Hollow Knight now. Now, to achieve the shape that I want to get, I had to sort of make this ant piercer shape, but I think it came out pretty well in the end. But later on, I'll add more depth to it, just so, it looks more 3D, I guess. Now, doesn't this look familiar, huh? It's amazing what one pipe cleaner can actually do to make this all come together. And like I said earlier, I'll make the framework to have the horns be a little more 3D, huh? Pop them out a bit more. And I'm really starting to like the design now too. So yeah, once we fill in these horns, that'll be all the white we need for the head. So it's gonna be a lot less white going forward. The only time we're actually gonna use it is for the sword. I also added more white at the top of the horn to make it look more forked. Now, I'm not going to bore you because I did actually play with this for like a solid minute extra. So let's just go ahead, skip on to the next part, which I hate doing. And those are the eyes. Now, either I've been getting lucky or I've actually started improving because these eyes are getting easier and easier to make. Now, granted, these are just straight up black eyes, but still, it was pretty easy to make. And now with the head done, we can move on to easier and better things, like the body. Although I will patch up that bottom part also. One thing about pipe cleaners that you always have to know is that the final product will be smaller than you think. So as you can see, I made the frame pretty big on him, but I know that's going to shrink, so we'll see in a second just how much it can shrink. Spoiler alert, it shrinks a lot. And look at our vessel now, he's got his head, he's got his horns, he has his body. He's a little amputated as well, but we'll fix that like we always do, right? So I guess we should get to that, yeah? Oh yeah, and quick question. What bug is he supposed to be? Oh, and look at that. He actually evolved and he got some legs too. Look at those stubby little things. There's no way he can actually run around and jump and crouch. Seriously, he doesn't even have any shins or knees. Of course, I'll make the frame so that his legs will be nice and pumped, and you guys just don't understand. Every single time I have to fill in those legs or arms or whatever, I have to go around each one of those pipe cleaners, and that can take upwards of an hour just for that, bro. Wow. Thumbs up if you agree. Looks like he evolved and he got a new Metroidvania power, which is the power to use his upper body. And really, they should not have made that a power. That should have just came, pre-packaged, Team Cherry confirmed padding their game. Now just to recap, what did we do in the last 4 minutes? Nothing basically. We just made his head, which is like a square, and then put some eyes on it, some horns, and then made this little random black body. And honestly, that's fine. That's completely okay, because now we're actually able to completely fill in his arms. Now, I'm not entirely sure how he would hold his sword, but his video game logic, who really cares? So let's just move on. Now for you guys, nothing may have changed, but for me, it's been a whole week since I last recorded the past line, So yeah, but I'm gonna reintegrate into all this pretty easily. So let's get back into it. Now, if I remember correctly, we were in the middle of making his cloak. And when I have to make longer flowing things, honestly, I don't even waste my time. I just grab a whole bunch of pipe cleaners, stick them together, and see if it works. And I think it works for what it is, you know? After fluffing it up some more and changing some of the end lengths, I think it looks pretty good, you know? It's simple, it's effective, it kind of looks like the cloak, you know? Very simple, very easy, I like that. But now we need to get into some more details. Now you may be wondering, what does a deformed rectangle have to do with anything? And you'll soon see. Laugh all you want to, but I'm telling you, this is an essential piece to what we have to do here today, okay? You guys need to understand this. So maybe you're starting to figure out what it is now. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and speed run through the remaining pieces. And perfect. Okay, so maybe it's not the most sound bench, but you know, it's not the main focal point, and that's enough to help us get through. So yeah. And since we're here making benches, might as well make all the other accessories that's gonna bring this all together. So we'll start with a simple, basic white sword, you know, pretty simple. But the hard part was figuring out how I wanted to put the designs and patterns on there. Now, I experimented with a few different ideas, but the one I came up with was more subtle. And you know, it's not the most detailed thing, but you know what they say. You know, you conjure up a whole bunch of lions, you know, they'll be able to beat up the sun. And for our next creation, we're going to make a disease and infection. Wait, don't draw any parallels to... Anyways, on a separate note, I find it a little difficult to make circles and stuff out of pipe cleaners. I mean, seriously, like, have you guys seen my circles? Not very circly, you know? But that's besides the point. We also gave this thing a little infection buddy. Now, isn't that so cute, huh? Look how harmless they are. And honestly, that's about it for the decoration. You know, it's simple, but it works in the context of Hollow Knight, you know? So all I've got to do is just add one more piece to it, and I think that's about it. Now, I'm not going to bore you even further with me just creating the ground because it's just a square gray square, right? But in future videos, I do want to make the ground look a little bit more interesting. I still have to figure that out myself, but otherwise, it serves its purpose to put everything onto it, and let's put everything onto it. And with that, I think we can take some photos and be on our merry way, yeah? So, we have made it to the end of the episode. Honestly, I'm pretty glad that I was able to get this done, you know? I mean, listen, look, the bench, it may not be the strongest, okay? Like, you know, if I maybe had used materials other than pipe cleaners, they would have been strong, yeah, but I'm just so stubborn when I use my pipe cleaners, you know? Like, yeah. But on a side note of actual, like, Hollow Knight stuff, I've never completed the Path of Pain. Like, I'm not doing all that, bro. I got the basic ending, I got the normal ending, you know? I didn't save that miner lady, you know, who was mining inside the, mines, obviously. You know? I was just kind of like an average gamer, you know? Anyways, watch this. I'm going to release this video, and out of nowhere, silksong news is going to come out, and it's going to be, like, crazy. And I'm going to, like, foreshadow it, bro. Like, I already see it coming. Like, it's happening. Silksong copium for life, you know? So yeah, see ya.